And you know what? Speak for yourself, Brendan, because I always highlight the support role.
Well, yeah.
So, you know.
I thought you were going to say you highlight Andal. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
He has been having a big come up. Yeah. So we do get into bans. Immediately seeing the Ambessa banned away from Shu, a pick he's definitely lent on quite heavily. And also, so some of the tendencies we've kind of seen from D+, they banned Azir basically every game apart from against T1 game 1, where they left it open and then lost to it quite painfully. Also seen Varus banned quite a bit against DRX. And we've seen DRX banning Rumble a decent amount. And we haven't really seen D+ banning Rumble themselves. But it's normally because they feel like they can match it with Shiwu. You know, if you get something he's confident in the matchup. But it's actually DRX who are going to ban the Azir themselves. So they're taking that sort of burden away from D+.
I like what you did there. The bird in away.
Burden, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's this last ban going to be?
Is it going to be Orianna? Are they just going to leave the Rumble up and pick something they feel confident into it? There's already Ryze and Azir gone. Yeah, so presumably DRX are going to have a lot of priority towards the Rumble in this situation. And again, this is something that D+ just haven't banned, despite being a heavy ban. I think third most banned in the LCK Cup. Is just something D+ haven't opted to deny themselves.
Yeah, I always felt like, you know, they would be comfortable with Shu playing Ambessa into it, even though a lot of people wouldn't be. He seems to always like it, but obviously Ambessa's banned here, which I think is definitely a good idea. Shu can play it. Even Lucid played it in the jungle. It's very flexible, strong right now. Jarvan is going to be the choice here. So Jarvan taken away.
Yeah, opting for the early Jarvan pick, you know, despite the fact that there's things like Vi open and available, you know, Lucid and Zao very good. Also, Jarvan, before you really see the enemy team's carries, maybe concerned about like a Jarvan Rumble the enemy team. But opting for that, something that obviously Lucid's confident on, and then going for the Yunara early on. No, definitely a pick that we would think matches the playstyle of Smash, but my concern is you're going Jarvan, and you haven't seen the carries yet from the side of DRX. So this Corki pick looking to come through from Jiwoo can, you know, mitigate the impact of the Cataclysm. But also, you can obviously opt into like point and click CC to kind of deal with this Yunara. Yeah. That being said, they end up going for the Xin Zhao, not leaning towards something like the Vi. I also think that Nautilus is a little bit uncomfortable into the Jarvan just because the Cataclysm disrupts you, but we'll see how that pans out. The Corki definitely going to come through for Jiwoo though. And the Cataclysm not going to be as high a value when you can just W straight out of it with a Valkyrie.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see Willer not playing the Vi into Nara and with the Rumble on his own team. Now we're looking at a support here for Career. The Enchanters have not been very comfortable looking for this player, but hopefully this time with the Lulu, I mean, it's excellent with the Yunara. It's great with the Jarvan as well from the jungle.
Yeah, it does also mean when you do go in, you know, we're talking about like the mobility from the Corki to get out, but if you get knocked up immediately by the wild growth, isn't really a chance to disengage from the situation. Nautilus going to get banned out here, so denying that point and click CC we were talking about into the Yunara. I also think the Nami could be a decent ban. We've seen Nami Corki be very popular, something Gen G's played quite a bit, and would have a good amount of lane pressure into the Yunara and the Nami. We see the Cassante banned out. You know, a lot of talk online about playing things like just these tanks into Rumble, the Cassante into it. You know, some players take the matchup and really actually find an advantage, pull ahead, and some just, you know, stall it out and ends up being quite dull.
Yeah, that's the way of tanks in the top lane. Thinking about a second ban here, either towards mid or top for D+ Kia. It's going to be the Gwen, so no Gwen answer into Rumble for Shu this game.
Yeah, and I assume D+ just going to secure, unless there's a mid you really are set on taking now, I think you just match the Rumble. Aurora into the Rumble, definitely. I mean, it's flexible as well, right? So you can take it in either lane, but something that can bully out the Rumble, and something Shu has played before, that Miracle base defense, but not going to go for it instead. Going to go for the Ornn. So some crazy sort of scaling and teamfight power. And a tank who is just looking to build Koenig Rukin and just scale into the later stages of the game has that engage power. And the team fighting from D+ is kind of insane already. Yeah. Are you going to have the craziest early lane pressure? No, but you do have the late game power you really want. And also when we talk about lane pressure, it really depends what we pair this Corki with. Looking at the Nico, that's going to be a bit of a problem for the Yunara and the Lulu in terms of the poke coming out.
Yeah, definitely a solid choice here. Very strong. We saw what Nico was able to do even yesterday. It's just a crazy pick, and I think it should be prioritized here. So now a blind pick mid, and we're thinking about Taliyah. Definitely kind of the next one on the list, you know, when you consider that Ryze is banned, Azir banned, Orianna. So Taliyah just a safe, solid mid laner, and we're looking at maybe Yone here, which would make it essentially a full AD comp. Yes, you do have Ornn.
Yeah, I think you honestly get away with it because there's not that many tanks on the side of DRX, and there's enough magic damage between Yone, Ornn, and Yunara that it kind of be okay. But toying with some other options.
Oh, another hover. It's not going to be Fizz, though. Will be the Ahri.
Yeah, going for the Ahri. We've seen Ahri so many times into the Taliyah specifically because you have the ult to kind of circumvent the Unraveled Earth. If you land a charm, she's kind of in trouble. I do believe, I don't think we got the Ahri changes coming in yet, actually. I think they might be on next patch.
Yeah, 26.3.
Yeah. But I know that they were due to come in and they were looking pretty good. But I think ultimately there was a lot of team fighting power already on D+, so having like the Ahri Jarvan to sort of have a strong mid jungle makes a lot of sense. I think in general though, DRX have a lot of strong lanes, a lot of picks that you'd see high in sort of a tier list. But if you get to the later stages of the game, I think ultimately D+, the team fighting power is pretty insane.
Yeah.
I also think like as much as the Nico is a great engager, can sometimes struggle into the Jarvan because you just cataclysm her and then she can't use her rocket belt. Makes it a little bit awkward in that regard.
Yeah, she has to full commit with Flash, or, you know, if you get the mark on the Nico, it's not going to make for a good engage for the Nico either. You know, generally you would look at this and say, oh, it looks like they only have Yunara for consistent damage, but there's not a lot of, you know, easy to commit threats here on the side of DRX that can actually threaten the Yunara in the late game. So it will be interesting to see. Yondel's really going to have to step up his game on this Nico to make things work. Otherwise, maybe DK just run away with this first game as we hop onto the Rift. Alrighty, game number 1. Play-ins round 2. As we mentioned, this is not an elimination match. It's a best of 3. If you win, you make it to playoffs. If you lose, you play in a best of 5 tomorrow for the final spot in playoffs. And that'll be the same for this first best of 3 and the second best of 3 we have today, which is Nongshim versus DNS, the DN Supers.
So one of the things with this bot lane 2v2 is there's a lot of poke and a lot of burst from Andal and Jiwoo, but you have to be a little bit careful because if Smash has access to the wave and gets his sort of empowered autos, he has so much more sustained damage, especially as he has lethal tempo as well. You have the shielding from the Lulu. So you want to go for those short trades. You want to just get the poke out, disengage, and not really disrespect your opponents.
Yeah, you can see the tempo heal came out. They still had it, DK's bot lane. And it's a lot of pressure. They will be hitting level 2 first. You see that DRX do have to back away.
I think that's the thing that sometimes happens is that you get like a strong 2v2 and you sort of autopilot into like, oh, we should win this, we should win this, we just play it out and we win this. And it's like, you have to really play around your conditions and your windows. And even though something like Yunara Lulu, you think of it as like, we're a scaling 2v2, that doesn't mean you just by default like lose early.
Yeah.
And you can see Smash and Korea playing it out well, using their cooldowns. They didn't miss that cannon, but they had access to the waves, so...
And that range minute.
Smash
and that one.
had his autos charged up and was doing a lot of damage. You know, Korea playing around his shields well, mitigating the poke from Andal. And now you actually have the early lane pressure. And with that back coming in from Andal, this is not a good start for DRX's bot lane.
Yeah, it's definitely very rough. And, you know, a lot of trust is being put in Smash. I think he missed another minion, by the way. This guy has missed 4 in a row, maybe just a little bit rusty here at the beginning of the game. But, yeah, I mean, he will have to pull a lot of the weight in terms of the consistent teamfight damage as the game comes along. And so far, things are looking pretty good in the lane as well. So they're going to be fighting for the Scuttle Crab. It looks like DRX do not want to back off of this. So we'll have to wait and see how this one does go. Smash just take a big chunk already, but Gio not that healthy himself. In goes Lucid, and a bunch of flashes are going to come out here. Smash in a lot of trouble. Already flashed, and he is down. First blood does go over to DRX, but now Gio in a bit of trouble himself. Will be killed over the wall by Lucid, who's still alive and gets a shield, and is just staying alive forever, as finally Andal gets the kill, but now the double flash comes out here as the Glitter Lance does miss, but maybe eventually they do get Andal with the Foxfire to speed up Showmaker. As there it is, and should be one more auto. There it is. Showmaker picks it up, and the double buff. Pretty huge for him, 3-0.
1,000 gold lead already.
He has 7 stacks on Dark Seal.
That might just be it. That might just be it. And we see what ends up happening is DRX tunnels so heavily on Smash here, and Smash actually gets a lot of damage down in return. So Willa gets super chunked out. Smash flashes into the pit. So it's like, okay, this is good to go, but the Slurkle does so much damage. Willa is dead already. Jiwoo's super low. They get him over the wall. Look how long Lucid survives. Gets the heal from Triumph, survives a bit longer, and everyone's just dropping. Showmaker's full HP.
Yeah. He's sitting here with double buff. By the way, they fought for the next Scuttle Crab, and Lucid got that as well in a smite fight. So he's doing really well. I think he's ahead of the Xinjiao.
I think part of the problem here was, again, it's a sustained damage, right? Smash getting a lot of value. 2 people caught in his W, just taking that constant damage. And also the fact that DRX really just overcommitting, seeing a target in the pit, being like, oh, we can kill him. But yeah, as you said, 7 stacks. Look at the item differential. In
Rich? What is going on here? Almost getting solo killed by the Mage Warlock Assassin that is Ornn. I know it's a different year, but still stands, I guess.
Look at the item differential in mid lane. It's 7 stack Dark Seal and a Lost Chapter versus a tier.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Dark Seal with the Lost Chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the choice you're making?
That's my choice, yeah.
You're electing for that decision?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
That's what I'm going to go for.
That's interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, also, you know, we talk about Ahri in pro play a lot as being, you know, very burst focused.
Oh, Rich is dead. Rich is dead.
Yeah, Rich is dead. He doesn't have flash. Oh. I mean, yeah, they could
still dead.
They could just press their ults. I don't know why they really hesitated there. Maybe thinking that Willer was there, but he was not. Very straightforward on that kill.
I think Showmaker just contemplated and said, do I want 9 stacks to my Dark Seal? yes, I do. And then he collected 9 stacks in his Dark Seal.
Yeah. We know that Showmaker loves Majai's, but I don't think Majai's first item is a good idea.
You know,
we'll see.
I'd respect it.
We'll see.
You know what's the one thing I was thinking about with this composition? Is that a lot of eggs are kind of in the Yunara basket if the Ahri isn't ahead.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Because if the Ahri is behind, right, you're really relying on the Yunara to be that kind of late game character. Like, the Yunara is always going to do damage once she gets to a certain point.
Oh, Willer.
But when the Ahri's this fed, it just doesn't matter.
He's level 6, or 5 rather.
Oh, he
is going to dodge the charm. I think he still dies here, as a lot of healing does come out, but you can see that Yuko can't do anything. He still only has a tier. And Career's here.
Oh, 10 stacks in the Dark Seal, by the way.
Yeah.
So this used to be a thing. Remember when Deathfire Grasp was a thing on Ahri?
Yes.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
So this obviously isn't a thing anymore, that Deathfire Grasp exists. But I remember back then, you would just ult in on Ahri, you'd pop Deathfire Grasp, and you'd pop W, and you just ult, and you just kill them, and you wouldn't hit anything else.
No, yeah.
Showmaker is approaching that point of Fed, where, like, it doesn't even matter if he hits his charm, or, like, the return on the Q. He's going to get so strong that he'll just, like, ult in and W, and you'll just die. Once he starts cashing in and buying some items, because he has, you know, he came back with the Dark Seal and Lost Chapter. Is he just going to go Medjai's now? No. Malignance is the correct buy, but it's not the funniest buy.
It's not the He could have done the funniest thing.
He could have done the funniest.
But he elected not to. Showmaker keeping it together here for all of
Seems like he is taking this match seriously, which is very respectful. But, you know, I do also want to note we have the progression bars at the top of the screen now for
yeah, that's really nice. I think that makes a lot of sense.
for the roll crest. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we do see Showmaker is ahead in his. Interesting, but not surprising.
Yeah. You know, to be fair, not by a crazy amount, or maybe it just doesn't look like that much, but actually it's like
It's still hard to get a significant amount of progress just because you get so much passively from being in lane. And I think UCal right now is making the right call to just be in lane and never leave. Because if you leave, you're going to get ulted and killed.
So they try to commit onto Career, but he just glitter lances them in the face. Now, Willer does have his ult, but he's going to lose another smite fight here. Lucid flashing the opposite way. The smash is kind of unleashed here as a Cataclysm, and now Showmaker, he's the real one that's unleashed. He gets over the wall, and they give the double kill to the Yunara as well. As, yeah, they do kill Lucid, but only Lucid and nobody else.
Guys, the enemy Ahri has 10 stacks Dark Seal and a Malignance. You're just never winning that, ever. In any realm. There's just no way. Look at UCal's items. He actually has, the only AP UCal has is the Doran's Ring.
Yeah, he went Catalyst, man.
That's not your blue buff. Just let it go. Like they're ulting in. Just leave it alone.
Yeah. You said it already. They were never winning.
They're just like, look, Jamaica,
Ever.
he's just ulting around and just melting everyone. There's just no way you win this.
Yeah. And then this is the saddest part where UCal, he knows he's not getting away, so he just has to commit to get the kill. At least he got the kill. What could have been even worse.
I think the problem. Okay, now he has the Medjais. Now he has the Medjais. Maybe he was like,
of course he does.
He's probably sitting there like, man, if I'd bought the Medjais instead of the Malignants, think how many stacks I'd have.
Yeah, and then he could have gone back and bought Malignants.
Yeah.
And he would have been, you know, 20 stack Medjais.
Because I want to remind you, by the way, UCal did go back and buy Lucidity Boots. He's still, the only AP he has is Doran's Ring. That's still the only AP he has at all in his entire.
Yeah. And I think, you know, to be fair, they have a Rumble on the team. They don't need him to be doing oodles and boodles.
No,
damage,
like again, this.
It's just funny that he has nothing.
I'm just highlighting the difference and the issue that they're currently facing, and the fact that Showmaker is just ungodly levels of fed, right? I'm not trying to critique UCal in this situation. No. It's just a decision to opt into that fight, and I get that DRX are feeling the pressure because they're into this scaling composition and they're already really deep in the hole, but that was not the fight. Yeah. I think you need to start looking for fights where Showmaker is not there. He's, you know...
It's kind of hard, too. It's Ahri with TP.
Hey, this game's very hard for this position, you know?
Yeah, well, maybe, you know, if you take some good 2v2 trades... Wait. They didn't get that either. Lucid at least is going to miss the flag and drag.
Oh, and Lucid's pretty fed as well, so he's got Sundered Sky over... Well, oh, Showmaker's coming.
No. Oh, no. Oh, oh no. Not like this. Yeah, they're just going to kind of press their buttons at them and kill them. As Smash gets the kill, and he gets two. They deny Showmaker extra stacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, Showmaker didn't get that many stacks there.
And sort of the occult isn't in this version of League of Legends, so Smash isn't able to get his stacks. So they should have given that to Showmaker.
Pretty unfortunate. Oh, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I mean, there's just not much you can do in this situation. You're trying to trade in the bot lane. You're like, we're playing Nico Corki. You want to trade, and then this happens.
Play safe bot. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I don't even think Showmaker got an assist on the Corki there. I don't think they're all connected in time, because then you got 2 stacks on the Medjais.
Yeah.
So, even more unfortunate.
Well,
oh well.
I'm sure he'll be okay.
Will he?
Yeah.
This is the new game he's now playing, Medjai Stacker. Oh, and Shiwu finished his Koenig Rukin, so
yeah, he did.
Top lane's no longer a matchup.
He's having a great time in the top lane, just trading with the Rumble.
Showmaker went Mirk Treads? That's not fun. It's smart, logical, respectful, fun.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Wanting to protect his gold lead?
Honestly, you could even go, you know, Zhonya's next and be totally fine, still do tons of damage.
I'm going to be real, Brendan. I think he could have gone Berserker Greaves and he'd still be doing tons of damage.
Yeah, maybe he'll just go Shadow Flame and put an end to this game. So, the shortest game so far at the LCK Cup.
Interesting you bring that up now.
I'm just going to take a quick look. I'm just curious. Just
for reference.
For no reason in particular.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to take a look. I'll get through my giant stack of papers eventually. They're doing it again, by the way. They're trying to dive the bottom.
They are healthier now, so, you know.
So it was 23 minutes and 56 seconds. So about 24 minutes. This time, Showmaker, level 11, by the way, decides to spare them.
They're a little bit healthier. They saw them move down to match, and they're like, you know what? We don't need to do this. Showmaker saw the possibility. He saw a future where he lost his Medjay stacks and said, that is not okay. He let them live for now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, CV Max, still their coach. Gotta keep it together. Gotta make sure that you're not making too many mistakes, that you're winning with your lead. And Willer, yeah, he's just gonna get chunked out. And this is what you were talking about in the draft. Like, Ando just doesn't really get to play the game as Lucid tanks everything up. And yeah, they're just pressing all their buttons at them once again. The challenge goes down. It's a double kill for Showmaker. And Smash gets another one. They're just kind of rolling over them. Maybe Showmaker, okay, he's just gonna be forced to flash away.
Oh my god.
That's about it.
His Medjay stacks flashing in front of his eyes.
22 stacks?
Yeah, you got a lot there.
This is a professional game of League of Legends.
Oh, G were getting an okay trade there. I mean, you saw they managed to take out Lucid, right? And they got a decent trade in return. You can see what that comp wanted to do if they went 6,000 gold down, but it's just the problem is they lose someone because they're so squishy compared to the damage being thrown out by D+. And as soon as they lose one member, Showmaker just starts ulting around.
Smash? Just pulls the trigger and says, I'm fed too.
Yeah, he is.
You're
He's 6
just dead.
kills.
Oh boy.
Yeah. As soon as they lose one member, it's just Showmaker ulting through and just cleaning up. All I'm going to say is imagine being a top laner in this game.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're just having a great time.
But yeah, as you said, so this is kind of the thing with Nico, is you get ulted by Jarvan, and it's like, okay, I can't do anything without Flash. I'm just trapped. My ult just doesn't have value. One of the frustrations of playing Nico into Jarvan. And then here, Showmaker, feeling a little bit overconfident, dashing forwards, does take a good amount of damage. Here is when I don't think he knew the Rumble was there and started to get melted.
Yeah, his team was backing away as well.
Yeah. And then here, again, the sustained damage flashes the Frost Bomb is the big thing as well, so avoids all that damage and has the backing off the Lulu.
You can see he was actually the one that was calling for it. He kind of flashed in first, and he was like, yeah, just support me, essentially.
I want to note, he had 2,300 gold in pocket when he went for that play.
Yeah.
So
well,
kind of
career might die. I'm not sure if it's worth it still for DRX. Okay, they are going to get the shutdown on
Showmaker's
the
here.
But yeah, Showmaker's here. Double knockup does come in, and the charm is going to miss, but Showmaker just kind of pressing his buttons on the entire enemy team. He's got 25 stacks of Vajay's now. And I think that's, is that 10 kills? I think it's 10 kills. It's either 9 or 10. As, yeah, he's actually just going to get charmed up. Nice try with the clone, and that might make 11.
Wow.
Yeah, 11-0.
You know what?
It's 15 minutes into the game.
You know what? I'm going to say something. At least Medjay's can't go beyond 25 stacks. That's the silver lining here. That's the consolation for DRX.
Yeah.
They're still trying. They're still trying to find the angle. They get a pick onto Korea, a target without flash. So I think, you know, you try and find a fight where Showmaker's not here, but the problem is they don't have the damage to finish this quickly. And they get locked into it. And then Showmaker turns up. And look at Jiwoo. He just ults. Yeah. Oh, he's dead. And now I have my resets. And I'm just going to chase you down. Because not only do I have a ton of movement speed, but I have all these Medjay stacks, which also give me more movement speed.
Yeah.
And he did go Shadow Flame. He wants to kill people more than he already is.
I think that's fair. I don't think he's in a lot of danger.
I'm again, Brennan, I'm drawing comparison between the items on the mid laners.
Yeah.
It's 2-stack Rod of Ages, Fiendish Codex. Oh, Yukal does have a Dark Seal, though.
Yeah,
and you know what? No, you know what? I respect this, because if you're going to win this game, you need a comeback. Honestly, if he'd bought a Medjay's, I would have. It'd be crazy, but that's the kind of mentality you need, right?
Yeah.
You need a little bit of just an all-in. The only way we come back is we just get like the craziest comeback of all time. We need D+ to play like KT. That's the only way.
And strays. It's only been one day, not even 24 hours. But yeah, it makes sense. So
yeah.
They, you know, based on what we saw yesterday. We're just looking at all the stats on the left, you know, level, total gold, damage done, stuff like that.
Yeah, Smash has a lot of gold too, but I feel like he's just been overshadowed at the moment. But that's one of the problems as well. Even if Showmaker does mess up, overstep, and die, which is hard to do on Ari, but if he does, there's also a fed Yunara.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to TP on top of this, and Smash, okay, they're going to go into, or just let the Rift Herald go. Rich is just kind of dead behind enemy lines, as they were never really going to win that fight. Here comes the Ornn ultimate on top of it all, catches one, gets a flash out of the other, and now it's just everybody trying to flash away. This Lurkle comes in, Willer, not very long for this world, as the knockup comes in from Xiu as well into the Wild Growth. It is just disgusting here on the Rift. DK really playing with their food. Showmaker, he just TP'd bot.
Showmaker was so far from the fight that he just TP'd bot. He's like, I ain't getting there in time. It's like, whatever, dude. I'm getting some plates. Yeah, so this was a pretty interesting fight. We actually saw, they destroyed the tower. Lucid again ulting the Nico, so the Nico doesn't get to play the game. Yeah. Rich came up to Showmaker, and Showmaker said, no, I'm Rich. Far richer than you. And then he was like, I'm not getting to the fight in time. He literally just watched him. He just goes, I'm just going to TP bot, whatever. The fight continues, and Lucid getting some good combos here on the Jarvan. Xiu gets a knock up on the tower. Lucid goes in, finds Yukal. The fact that they're just like crushing this fight and Showmaker's not here, they've passed the point. I was talking about you need to fight without Showmaker. It's gone now. Even without Showmaker, you don't win.
Yeah, it's a 13,000 gold lead.
Yeah, that's a lot.
18 minutes, and I don't think we've seen as one-sided of a game.
You know what?
This LCK Cup, I'm pretty certain.
I predicted a 2-0 for D+, and I still feel like it was a bit conservative. Based on this game.
Yeah, it should have been a 3-0 maybe.
Yeah, it's not looking so good.
Who knows what's going to happen in game 2, though?
Yeah, we've had crazier things than a bounce back from this.
Yeah. But us and I are praying right now, but
yeah, I mean,
it's not working very well.
You've fretted 2-1 right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this game is just kind of, it's just kind of over, guys.
It's kind of what? Over?
Over now.
It's over now.
Yeah, that's what DRX want right now. They want it over, and they want out, and they want to get into game 2.
I think at some point, I mean, they're still trying. They're still looking for angles. They're still trying to force, which, I can respect. But I think at some point in this game, you really start thinking about game 2. Because it's just, I don't see the angles. What's crazy is that Showmaker's nearly level 15. He's like 2 full levels above Rich, and Rich has the XP quest. Yeah.
Well, at this point, I'm just curious if they are going to beat the fastest game so far at the LCK Cup, which
How long do you have left?
was about 24 minutes. It was 23:56. So
23:56.
we got about 3.5 minutes left.
It's been kind of slowing off a little bit.
Yeah, I think DRX eventually were just kind of like, well, we can't challenge them for anything. It's still too early for DK to end the game without some objectives. They are going to go for this Mountain Drake. I think they could go for the Baron, but also, to be honest, one of the only ways they can throw this game is through some kind of weird Baron flip. Even that, honestly, I don't think they can throw at Baron. Like, I don't think it's possible.
I mean, this would be a very hard game to throw. I'm manifesting.
We did say that about the 14,000 gold lead that KT had.
I mean, I think that one, there was like, there was a smaller gold lead, but also compositionally, like KT had a harder composition to sort of close the game out, right? Because they had like a lot of melees, a lot of things that were like harder just to push through. Also in this game,
what did Lucid mean by that?
That was.
What did he mean?
He just wanted to shout.
I think he's trying to send a message.
Right? It's the Demacia season. He just wanted to shout it. I respect it.
That's fine.
But also, like, there's so many scaling elements to D+'s composition that are so hard to deal with. And they're so mobile. If you ever approach to, like, Baron or Elder, they'll just jump you so easily. I think that's why it's so hard. It's so hard to get picks as well.
Yeah. Well, they saw that the Baron is being taken. Showmaker goes over the wall, is going to miss pretty much everything. Does not have Deathfire Grasp. in 2026. A double knockup is going to come in as now Showmaker is going to go, but he has Zhonya's completed as knockup will come in and get Showmaker. They take him down, but they have not dealt with Smash. But they stopped the Baron take, so that's a win for DRX.
Nice. He still has 17 stacks. That's... But for a moment, they got him, right? Big influx of gold. Who actually got the kill? Did you see?
No.
Okay, we're going to replay. Yeah, a little bit overconfidence. And actually, I think the main person who I really want to credit here is Andal for the timing on the Pop Blossom. Because they go for the engage, he arm guards, and then look at the timing. He gets knocked up immediately before he can flash. Actually, I think the seismic shove as well from Yukal.
Yeah. Didn't
let him flash out of that to get away. So great play there. Question is, what will it amount to? Showmaker is about ready to TP, and they are on the Baron again.
Yeah, I mean, Willer's just got to get in the pit, which he can with the Blast Cone, as that's a knockup from the TP, and now the big Cataclysm finds everybody, and he just dies. But now we got Showmaker on the chase, and we have the Charm down, looking for that first kill. He gets the reset, and everybody is just running away. As Showmaker now, he's going to get healed up, and yeah, eventually Yukal will go down as well. It's a nice turn here from DK, not the most difficult one to pull off. And now they'll go for the Baron.
Well, Lucid is dead, but I don't think it matters. So, yeah, they'll just go for it. They also have an Ornn to tank it, which makes it pretty chill. Yeah, just so difficult. This is what I mean. It's like you come over to contest the objective, and it's so hard to like disengage again because there's so much chase potential. They get a knock up on the Rumble, and then we get this crazy engage from Lucid that does a lot of damage, catches them up. He dies for it, but now Showmaker, he's already got one reset, chases for more, flashes for Jiu, he wants more resets, and there's just no way to get away. Willer's like, I'll sacrifice, but you can't sacrifice against Sonari because you're just handing over a reset for more chase potential. And she was like, I will tank the tower for 5 hours if needed.
Hey, Career got a kill there.
There we go.
He picked up his first kill here of the game. And DK are not going to beat the fastest game of LCK Cup. Honestly, not too surprising, just the way the game kind of stagnated there. As Willer, down 3 levels, would love a Gromp. He is going to get it. Now down only 2 levels, as Lucid is really not scared of anything. Has the whole team behind him and did a good job of baiting that one out. The knockup does not hit Smash, and that's going to be a double kill for him. Looking for the triple, does not get it. Greer steals a second kill. And so no Penta will come in here, but this game was done, I'd say, about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna kill the Nexus.
Yeah. I don't think there's too much to add. I think we covered everything in the game. A rough game 1 for DRX. D+ getting the early momentum and just carrying it away. And DRX really just need to find a way to bounce back. But I'm sure they've been thinking about that for a good amount of time during this game, even.
Yeah, they definitely were. This is not an easy game to analyze because, well, straight up, there's nothing to analyze. Down goes the Nexus. DK looking very strong here in the first game. Now, you know, it was a very big stomp. I do think that DRX were, I don't want to say they were doing the right things, but they were trying to fight their way back because they knew that if they got too far behind, the game was going to be lost anyway. So that's kind of why it got out of control so quickly, and it was a very one-sided game. Now we can just hope that game 2 is a little bit closer, a little bit more interesting. Otherwise, DK will just move on to an easy 2-0 win.
Yep. I mean, I think it's hard to have a game go as badly as that. I think that first skirmish was really where things all went wrong for them. Kind of crazy that Smash ended up doing more damage, but I do think that last team fight, he did a lot of it, and also for Showmaker, people just died before he got to rack up the damage. Running out of health, an issue when you're trying to do more damage dealt. But yeah, this was pretty brutal, pretty one-sided. You can see from the goal difference graph, and for DRX, a massive bounce back needed, or that record of losses against D+ isn't going to change.
It doesn't seem like it will, but hoping I am wrong, as we will have a game 2. It will happen, and only DRX has the ability to change the potential 2-0, which looks very likely at this point, but we're still going to play it out. CV Max still having some stuff to say to the team. I'm very interested to hear what he does have to say, but either way, we're not going to hear that. It is 1-0 DK. We'll be right back.
여기 말 안 되는 데네?
야 해도 돼.
먼저.
야 그냥 공대.
너 그냥 잡으면 될 듯?
궁극기 있네 이제. 야 뺀다. 아 진짜 뺀다.
뺐다.
아 예?
뺐다.
버렸는데?
아 룰루가 먹었어.
야안 건드렸네.
쉣.
아니 펜타킬 아니었어?
아 진짜 멘탄데. 아 형이 먹었어.
내가 먹었어?
잘한다. 연기 같은데?
아 그러니까 일부러 먹은 거 같아.
아니 나 진짜 주려고 했어 근데.
아 깜짝 아니야 이거?
아 진짜 아니야. 뭘 악감정이야. 아니 진짜 형이 뭘 악감정이야. 아 나 형 주려고 했어.
아 나이스.
아니.
나이스요.
나이스요.
야 잡아. 킬. 아 내거. 킬.
I hope that this game won't be nearly as brutal as the last one was, but I also think that like if you don't end up having such a bad early skirmish, the game could easily be much more competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the drafts were playable, the game was playable. The plays that were made the game unplayable. So now we're going to jump into draft here for game number 2. Azir is banned again, this time early. Orianna going to be followed up by DK. Similar. This time the Vi is going to be banned. They elected not to go for the Vi into the Yunara last game. Didn't want it to just have a cuz experience where you go in and you just die. Perhaps as Jace is going to be banned here. Pretty common stuff on the
It's interesting as well, DRX
side.
maintaining the Azir ban, even though it's something that D+ have been banning heavily and haven't really been playing at all during the LCK Cup. We are just getting that Azir Orianna trade. Rai is going to be banned again by DRX, so mid lane pool being kind of thinned heavily. And altogether, no change in bans from the side of D+, but the Ambessa has been let through, so it's going to be snapped up here by Rich in the top lane. Ultimately, Rich wasn't really present in the last game. Neither him nor Shiwu really got to take part, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But he did get the Rumble.
Did they even really exist?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still not sure.
He did get the Rumble though, and just wasn't really able to make much headway. But I mean, it's harsh to really say anything about it because the game was over before he even got to partake. So we'll see what he can do on the Ambessa, and we'll see what D+ take into it. We get the Pantheon immediately for Lucid. We have seen players like Zeus and Keen taking the Gwen into the Ambessa, a matchup that originally was pretty Ambessa favored, and we saw Ambessa being picked up as like the counter to Gwen, but we've seen it being piloted quite well by some of our proficient top laners and being confident to take that matchup. But for now, we will see Smash opting into the Lucian. And we've seen multiple pairings with this, whether it's Lucian Nami, Lucian Braum, Lucian Milio, Lucian Sona.
Yeah. They play a lot of stuff with Lucian nowadays. It's not just Lucian Nami. And as Wadid said on the space, he's like, DK realized they have Smash, and they're willing to play around him, pick early for him, and get him a good matchup. So Aurora and Nautilus are going to be picks here, though.
This also makes it really tricky for Shiwu, because I was talking about the Gwen into the Ambessa, but it's hard to pick because now you might go into the Aurora instead, because the Ambessa could be in the jungle. The Nautilus coming through makes bot lane very easy to decide, though, because if you're playing into a Nautilus, why not just slam Braum?
Yeah.
And play that matchup out. Always been a pretty comfortable matchup for the Braum to play, and makes those skirmishes difficult for the side of DRX, particularly this Pantheon Lucian Braum. We just saw a game where the early skirmish dictated the whole match, and it's so incredibly hard to play an early skirmish against specifically this trio, where you have the point and click CC from the Pantheon, he lands that, the Winter's Bite is guaranteed, and then it's so easy to stack, and you have the execute damage from the Pantheon. This is just very hard to pick another trio that out-skirmishes this trio in the early game. So,
surely DRX won't go all in on some early skirmishes this time.
We'll see.
Is the hope.
Is the hope. Ziggs ban comes through. I think something that can kind of circumvent the Braum in a lot of ways with the ultimate, and also can keep these things at bay. It is a short-range composition from the side of D+ so far. The Gwen ban does come through, so did talk a little bit about it being played into the Ambessa. Obviously not certain that it's going to be the Ambessa top lane, but just for the potential of it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just want to play a tank, and Gwen would be good into that anyway, you know, if they slam Sion at some point.
I also think
Asante.
as much as the skirmishing is really good in this composition from D+, and I do think that, like, despite them not being the greatest scalers, Pantheon and Lucian can still do good jobs in the later stages. Having some insurance in this comp would go a long way, and Gwen does offer that. She also stacks a Braum passive very effectively. Sivir ban comes through, something that can obviously mitigate a lot of that pressure, just being able to clear the waves effectively. Good against short-range compositions. The stun impact reduced massively.
So with the Renekton ban coming through, it does look very much like we're going to get an Ambessa top lane. Thinking about the Kennen here as the answer, force you into it. And Kennen can go into a lot of stuff, even if the Ambessa does get flexed. So they are just going to lock that in. So there is a little bit of, you know, just ways to get more damage on the team. And there's the potential flex with the Sion coming out we were talking about.
Yeah, I think you have to be ready and willing. Even with those bans come through, you have to be ready and willing to be able to flex it, because, you know, playing it into the Kennen, not a fun time. Yeah. I think Willa definitely one of these players who are happy, happy and comfortable to play carries in the jungle. Was doing it quite a lot in previous years as well. And we do see, so the Sion coming through into the Kennen can just chill in that matchup, farm up, just weather the storm. And looking at the Ezreal, so something that can play at a safe distance, but not exactly going to have the most pressure in the bot lane. Also, especially into the Pantheon and the Braum, I feel like they can mitigate a lot of your damage. You know, you're firing Mystic shots in, you're hitting a Braum wall, you're hitting the Pantheon Aegis, and it just feels like you can't push in too aggressively.
Maybe this is the TF game.
You do outrange a good amount, though. I don't know. It's a lot of bulk for a TF.
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia, though,
that can definitely chew through the bulk.
That will chew through the bulk, for sure, in this one. And definitely when we're talking about having some insurance, it does offer that. That being said, there's a lot of things that can get on top of you and just make your life difficult. I think for this one, I think there's obviously the skirmishing power we talked about, and then you have like the power of the Kennen and the Cassiopeia ready to get you through those team fights. But I think DRX, you know, as long as they don't opt into a crazy fight with the Lucian Braum Pantheon, you know,
this time.
If they get into the mid game, I think they can play around, especially the fact that their backline is so mobile, right? It's going to be kind of hard to reach the Ezreal and the Aurora. Things like the Cassiopeia should never really be easily connecting with them. The Kennen as well might have a hard time to get on top of them.
Yeah.
You have this bulky front line too, so...
That's why I thought maybe TF just for like an RFC gold card onto one of those slippery carries and then the follow-up, but yeah, then I don't think they get through the Sion or even the Ambessa in the later stages of the game, so probably for the best, as we got DRX fans begging, pleading for just an ounce of, you know, something in the series, because so far they haven't shown it in this first game. So Showmaker going to be playing Cassiopeia up against UCal's Aurora in the mid lane. And we're getting ready for game number 2. D plus Kia up against DRX right now. Alrighty, game number 2 on the cards here. And we did have that Ambessa put into the jungle, in fact. Willer going to be playing that. He also did play Zahin jungle. So definitely a guy that has a lot in his arsenal.
Yeah. That is one thing I'm a little worried about, though, is I feel like the Ezreal Aurora, if they do fall behind, will just feel like they don't offer that much damage. Whereas I feel like for D+, I mean, that's happened with Lucian, right? But, you know, with Cassiopeia, it just feels like, in general, the D+ composition has more damage threats.
And they have all different types. A lot of burst, obviously, but also the consistency of the Cassiopeia. Lots of ways to fight early, mid, and late, it feels.
Yeah.
Maybe late isn't, you know, the absolute best we've ever seen, but still good.
I mean, I feel like Pantheon just does such insane damage. Like, I feel like for so long, Pantheon's always been thought of like this early game champion, but I just think he does so much damage at every stage now. I think a big factor is he gets so much armor pen for free on his ultimate with ultimate ranks now, which is interestingly something Ambessa also gets. And really helps him just carry over into the later stages. And also the execute on his Q. Like if you get hit by a Pantheon Q in the later stages of the game, he actually just does so much damage now. It's kind of ungodly.
Yeah, it really does. The wall is down. Career is getting pretty low. Smash and Career are still trying to fight back, but a nice trade here. A nice look from Ondel to go for that hook, and that's going to force Career back.
Yeah, I think Ju doing a good job of stacking up the lethal tempo and getting some good autos into the Braum. Career kind of on the back foot there. I also think as well, as much as the matchup Nautilus-Braum generally favored towards the Nautilus, if you get in like these quick trades and kind of disengage before the Braum stacks up the passive, Nautilus has a lot of base damage in his kit. And you have like the initial shielding. Like if the Braum's ready and he gets passive stacked on you and you instantly like burst it down in the long trade, it feels bad. But you can go for like quick trades, disengage. And
oh no, that's really unfortunate for Ondel to miss that hook, as now they're going to continue on the trade. We have TP coming in from UCal. Showmaker is already here. The flash, Miasma just secures the kill onto Ondel. He couldn't flash away from the grounding. And again, we're fighting over an early scuttle. And Xiu goes over the wall. They're going to commit to this one. They want to get on top of Smash. Where have we seen this before? And Showmaker was full health and full mana, and they're all running away from him. As Willer's getting low, Showmaker can kind of do whatever he wants, although he's in a less comfortable spot this time. Still going to get the kill on a Jiwoo. Still looking for the kill on a UCal. One burst should be able to get it, but he misses the Q. And oh no, UCal not like this. And it's a 3-kill Showmaker again.
why are we doing this again? Why? You just lost the game like this. Well, if at first you don't succeed.
I don't know, man. This one feels even more obvious, especially after the missed hook.
Yeah, they missed the hook and they're still going in. Okay, and we talked about the we talked about the skirmishing power of D+'s composition. But to be fair, I didn't expect Showmaker just to absolutely 1v9 as well. Because to be fair, D+, sorry, their 3-man who are strong in the skirmishes are quite low. The Braum passive doesn't get that much crazy value. They do get a stun down on a couple of members, but Showmaker just dodges everything. He's just insane.
Yeah.
Dodging the Mystic Shot there. Get some Miasma down here.
And they're fighting, by the way, in the bot lane in live, so at least something good. So, an ounce of goodness going the way of DRX, and it's even more than an ounce. Gio up to 3 kills now with that double kill for him.
Picture this scenario if they hadn't had that skirmish in the river.
Yeah.
But a good play coming out. I want to see how that happened because, you know, Ezreal Nautilus finding a win in 2v2 against Lucian Braum. That's good to see. Not the easiest thing to find.
Gio just had level 6 here as Rich maybe just going to flash ult away if he needs to, will flash.
Yeah, I think he probably could have just ulted and buffered Chiu's ult and would have just got out completely. I don't think he actually needed to have to use his flash there, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so Korea used his shield quite early and Smash dashed in. So all cooldowns down, and Andel's like, I'm going. They have nothing. He's just flashing on him and autoing him, so... I think this is honestly another example of like, we are the winning bot lane 2v2. We just win this. Let's just play aggressive. We win this, and not thinking how do we win this?
Yeah.
How are we winning this matchup? They used all their cooldowns, everything, and then I'm just like, oh, they have nothing left. I'm flashing in.
Yeah.
And the lack of summoners from the earlier skirmish as well, obviously.
Ondel's in a lot of trouble now. He doesn't have flash, and well, Lucid does. So they're gonna give that kill to Career, who does last hit that, unfortunately. Jiu gonna get traded a little bit there as well.
So here's a neat trick I've learned about bot lane matchups, right? The trick to winning any bot lane matchup, bring the jungler.
Yeah, bring your jungler.
Never fit.
Jungle gap, honestly. I mean, you know, Lucid was there, Willer wasn't.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
And then what you do is you go in all chat and you say GG easy. Better bot wins.
That'll work, that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll tilt them for sure.
Yes, yes.
Well, Ondil just TP'd back the Unsealed Spellbook. Career does have the door up, but there are 3 of them.
As I said, good
Yukal's
2v2 play.
dead.
Good 2v2 play from the bot lane.
Yukal is dead, and surely DRX just say, okay, we're gonna back. Nope, they're just gonna go for it anyway. Yeah, Willer's dead, and we got even a TP coming in here because why not? They did not need the TP, but actually that's Career, not the cannon. Anyway, they should not have fought that at all.
I genuinely think DRX should just be banned from the bot side river. I think if Joker had coach comms, he'd come in and be, guys, you're not allowed in the bot side river. You are banned until 15 minutes game time. Do not step in there. This is an example where I think Andal was like, hey, we just won the 2v2. Well, the reason you won the 2v2 is because all their cooldowns were down. You just queued in when their cooldowns were up and the jungler was there.
Yeah.
Here, though, your jungler was here, so this was going good. Positive play, you found the kill. But then you try to make this fight happen, and Showmaker has ult, and no one on DRX's side has ult. And it's crazy, he caught you as well with the ult, so max range on that, which was pretty nice. But it was just a straight 3v3, and the Cassiopeia has ult, and also, you know, we were kind of trash-talking the tier Catalyst last game on the Tlia, but because it's a fed Cassiopeia who has that very early, it's a very tanky Cassio with a lot of mana.
Yeah.
You're not just going to burst her, even though she wasn't full HP.
Yeah.
So
it hits differently as well when, you know,
guys, it's
Cassiopeia is going to get out of control.
It's 8 minutes, and the Cassiopeia is 403 with a 1,700 gold.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
It's pretty insane. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Onx just wrote down his POM, his POM selection.
Oh, I did I? Oh.
I'm not going to spoil it because, you know, you don't know. It's probably a split vote here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
never
close.
know.
Yeah, assuming, you know, a certain team wins, I think it's pretty safe.
Yeah. And if DRX do somehow end up winning the series, you know, maybe it is off to the back of Yukal. At this point, could be anybody. So, yeah, I just don't know what to say. I feel like DRX are really... They're doubling down, they're tripling down, they're quadrupling down on this same idea that, no, we can win these trades no matter what the comp, no matter what the situation, and we're just going to prove it to them. And they're not proving a lot, except that they're going to lose these trades. So, yeah, I don't really want to see it anymore. This time, though, they do have Yukal down here. Smash is going to flash away. Nice flash in from Career on the block, and also able to get right up in front and land that Q on Ondil. And they even give that kill over to Smash as Lucid gets there, Showmaker gets there. And that's another strength of the Pantheon, just to get there so quickly.
Trying to force into Lucian Braum there. Again, this is kind of the difficulty of the lane matchup. When the cooldowns are up, it's hard just to press forward as the Nautilus. Andal trying to find the angle, doesn't succeed. And now they're trying to set up a dive. Not the easiest.
Yeah, this one definitely not as good as game number 1, as they're going to try to force it in onto Yukal. Smash going to get pretty low.
Oh, the ult!
And the ult is gigantic. Going to catch Yukal on top of it all as the rod is finished here for Showmaker. Now 5 kills on the Cassiopeia. And now we got a Slicing Maelstrom in the top lane. This time, Scion ult is not going to get through.
Oh, wait, what?
But that's fine.
Oh, this is top lane. Oh, I forgot about this lane. Yeah.
I don't even know what lane you're talking about. It doesn't exist in my mind.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot this lane existed. Didn't they say they were changing this to make top lane more relevant?
Top lane and top laners are not real.
Yeah. So this one, actually, so the shield was down. So I think this was maybe the thing that thought, hey, I can go a bit more aggressive here. Yukal was coming over. And they'll try to go for like the R flash to kind of get the setup on Smash. Because if you R flash, it gets like the insta knockup.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe I was a bit critical of Andal because he saw a window with Yukal there when the cooldown, the shield down from Korea. But unfortunately, the rest of D+ ready to move. This was a little messy, you know. Korea got in a bit early. The ult from Showmaker was great. Yukal flashing to get away, otherwise that would have just been a double kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Showmaker's just in tremendous form today.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting, this LCK Cup this year, because a lot of our veteran mid laners, you think about Faker, you think about Showmaker, these guys that generally have somewhat slower starts to the year are just having incredible form, really on the ball from the get-go.
To be fair, last LCK Cup, Showmaker was also in tremendous form. and we were super hyping up D+.
And then they
wind.
There's one thing that can kill the hype faster than anything else, and that's losing 0-3 and then 0-3.
But they've already lost 0-3.
They did. Well,
and they're bouncing back.
They can't lose 0-3 today. Even if they do lose the series, it can't be a 0-3, nor a 0-2.
Yeah.
So they're feeling pretty good about that.
Wait, wait. I know that you might not care about this, Brendan, but I do. Korea has already finished his support quest.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the top lane. I'm like, why do you care about the top
So
lane?
he's like one of the fastest, but we looked at like role quests the other day, and support is on average, I think support and mid are on average the slowest.
Yeah, the Showmaker just finished his, by the way.
Yeah, and Showmaker and Korea are like two of the fastest in the team. That's crazy. That's, wow.
Showmaker is miles ahead of UCal, which makes sense because UCal has died twice.
But
Showmaker has 5 kills.
It's crazy that Korea is so fast, because normally, like, I can get mid being faster when you got so many kills and doing a lot of damage. Maybe he was just getting all his procs from hitting champions.
Well, they're going to try to fight this one 4v3. The Nautilus ult does come out. Korea might be in a bit of trouble. Big burst damage does come in, but now able to get in front is Lucid. Still not able to avoid the Aurora damage, though, as a hook does sail wide. And Showmaker's just mid, getting plates.
Yeah. Well, he may have got his quest completed, but it didn't save him from that. So.
Yeah.
I know Andal has quest. Oh.
Now Lucid's here. Flash. Oh no, he's just taking names.
Oh my.
Much like Lucid in game 1, he is back. And, well, now he's dead. But that's because UCal is also bot. They're really trying to babysit down here, which honestly makes a lot of sense. Trying to dodge all of these skill shots. And he will dodge enough with the barrier.
Honestly, UCal's doing his best, right? He had a rough game 1.
Just stay bot, don't,
I feel like the thing is, I say he had a rough game 1, I feel like it wasn't even specifically like, it's just Showmaker is popping off, right? I'm not even specifically, we talked about, the space talked about the AP difference. It's just Showmaker's been popping off. He got fed out of the skirmishes. He didn't get fed specifically of Showmaker. Yeah. But UCal's been doing his best to make things happen. Here, Korea just kind of, he just gets exploded. The Braum cannot survive against this. I'll be honest, the supports have been having a rough time this game. A lot of deaths. A lot of deaths. Lucid just exploding people. The Pantheon doing so much damage. And then Smash nearly gets smashed himself. Does put a lot of damage into Andal, nearly turns it around. And UCal actually would have killed him without barrier.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thankfully, he hit his ability this time. Smash not quite as good at dodging the skill shot. And again, we're up in top lane.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we're back in mid lane. And Smash.
Do you think there's like a minimum quota we have to look top lane for like a set amount of time?
I'd say the top laners would feel pretty bad if we didn't.
Yeah.
They want to be included.
Guys, we haven't looked top lane in like the last 7 minutes. You have to remind everyone it exists. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I mean, eventually, maybe we get like a Kennen ult in this game.
Yeah.
On like a team.
Kennen's ulting Rich again. Rich just runs away. Cool. Okay. Back to the rest of the map.
We have seen that a couple of times now. And yeah, Cataclysm gonna force you back and forces the turret down.
Got the Farmalon. There we go.
He's back. Oh, he got stuck.
Okay, no, that's enough. That's enough.
From here, he is playing Braum, so it's a little bit easier for him to get out, but still having trouble. And he's just dead to Andal's ult. Lucid's like, man, I was doing the dragon.
D+ is still really far ahead, but DRX are getting a lot of kills.
Yeah.
It's feeling a very messy game compared to game 1. I feel like an aspect of it is you are playing into a fed Cassiopeia and not a Ferrari. So these skirmishes aren't just like falling apart immediately every time you opt into them. It's easier to fight without Showmaker being there compared to last game where it felt almost impossible. I do want to note there is 20 kills so far in this game, right? 10 of them are supports. 50% of the deaths in this game are supports.
The deaths, yeah, not the kills. For
Yeah.
a second, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, the supports are just dying.
Yeah.
And
speaking of which,
it's not even like it's squishy supports. I know Nautilus is one of the squishier engaged supports, but the other one is Braum. They are just, we'll say, being targeted.
Yeah. It's
Also, the Braum has
not their
died.
first
The
time.
Braum has died more than the Nautilus.
6 times is...
It's also celestial opposition on both of them.
Well, Anil's going to hook into the wall, and Lucid has some choice words for him about that. As the Mega Cone Engage Braum comes in, not something we see very often. There's the Slicing Maelstrom on the enemy team, and not just on the Scion. Jiu's dead, by the way. He's just getting flanked by 4 people. Yukal comes in. He's probably regretting that choice now. As he does get the kill, does still die to the spear.
Hey.
Rich cutting through that Scion.
But look who didn't die.
It's career. And
Well, Andal. Andal got away.
Yeah.
They let him live. And now the supports aren't 50% of the deaths. So, you know, good job, Andal. That's shown some growth. Unfortunately for the rest of DRX, they just got completely blasted in this situation. Lucy's going very aggressive here, but we had this TP angle coming in, and she was like, okay, I'm so bored of playing top lane. Let me join. Willa gets absolutely one-shot. Jiu just gets shredded by the Showmaker flank, and the fight is already over at this point.
Yeah.
Yukal does kill Shiru. He's doing his best, but kind of just gets chased down by the snake, and Lucid snipes him with a spear, and then the tanks just run away.
And
Once
they got
again,
Rift Herald.
I did predict a 2-0.
You did.
I still feel like, based on what we've seen, it felt like
A little look behind the curtain. There have been times where we have tried and asked about, like, can I predict 3-0 to try to make a statement, you know, something like that, or can I vote for Palm for one of the members of the losing team, you know?
Well, that's toxic, right?
We have not been allowed to do that, but Ox, you know, if you want to say publicly that, you know, you wanted to go for a 3-0 instead of a 2-0.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I'm
You
just
could
thinking,
say
like,
that.
I said 2-0, but looking at this, I'm like I said 2-0, but all I'm saying is based on this, I didn't expect it to be this one-sided.
Yeah.
This feels more one-sided than my prediction that's what I'm trying to say. This feels more one-sided than I thought it would be, and my prediction was a 2-0.
I see.
That's what I'm trying to convey. That's the point I'm trying to make. This
Yeah.
feels more one-sided than even I thought, and I said 2-0, which is as one-sided as we can convey with our prediction.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it'd be closer than this. And this is not like, my prediction was not close.
This is not.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're trying to engage on a Braum again. It's worked out a lot for them, to be honest.
Kill the Braum, kill the Braum, kill the Braum!
They will, don't worry. That's another kill over to Jiu. And a 7th death.
DRX
Rears Braum.
have learned from T1.
That is another hook, this time on a Lucid, though, so...
You know, they watched the T1 vs D+ series. There was a lot of things that you could have taken away. Their takeaway, kill Korea.
So Showmaker's just being turned onto here. And there's nowhere for him to go. He doesn't have his flash either. He is just going to go down. Jiu just take a bunch of damage, though. And the fight comes in.
Oh,
Here's
man.
the Slicing Maelstrom we were looking for. Forces the flash out of Yukal. Otherwise, he would be a 3rd casualty. Shiu gonna run straight into Willer, who is only level 11. I think Shiu was okay to take the straight, actually. Rich hits the wall! And,
Rich.
you know, if he were there, honestly, I don't even know if he would have helped. And he does die anyway. So that's going to be the end of that.
You know what? Did it really...
Maybe he made the right call.
Did it really make a difference?
Yeah, no, I don't think it did.
Yeah. Let's have a little replay of... Yeah, ult comes in. Showmaker a little bit overextended. He's not playing Ari this time. Does die. No Magi stacks to be lost in this one, though. Shiwu comes in, presses ultimate. Everyone, apart from Yukal, who flashed away, dead. And then he goes in. He has the big shields and teleports. So he's like, I want to go. I want to see what... Yeah.
You know what? Turn around after that.
You know what? I think that's a good summary of the series.
Yeah.
Good summary of the series.
Just clip that.
Yeah.
Put it up and be
Clip
like,
it.
okay, this is what happened.
Flip it and ship it.
Anyway, DK120. And we have
Whoa.
a second series.
Counting your chickens. It's not 2-0 yet.
Pretty good at counting, so
It's only-
I do like to flex.
It's only a
when I can.
7.6k goal lead. This...
It's a lot less than game 1.
It's not even that big of a goal lead compared to some of the throws we've seen so far.
So,
the LCK.
okay, we're going to see another hook. This, again, is Pantheon. You know, okay, TP is going to come in, and this time the shield, it is going to go down.
They got him.
And they got the kill. And this time now,
Showmaker?
Showmaker going to be caught up as the Q comes down
Okay, some good picks.
into what should be a Chemtech Drake. Not bad.
Finding some angles. This is good. See, I said you were counting your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah. Well, Ucal does a lot of burst damage, but he's still 3 levels behind Jiwoo. As now Smash just going to send it here into Jiwoo, and ooh, the locket saves him and the dive, as that's going to be the kill going over to Jiwoo. Jiwoo is just leaving, and Willer's like, well, I wish I could have done something.
I can't believe we didn't trip over that yet. Jiwoo and Jiwoo in the same game.
You know, they haven't been interacting all that
They
much,
really
so
have not. They've just been
it
on
hasn't been a
opposite
problem.
sides on the map
And I don't think it will be a problem.
for much longer.
Yeah. Man, what was Atlas thinking with the 2-1 prediction? Crazy.
Yeah.
I would
that was
never.
Insane.
I would never do that. I also predicted 2-1. So Lucid kind of gets caught here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. Thank you for describing the exact series of events.
Shu looking pretty dead. He is going to get the stun down.
Oh, the ults. You know, Willer's
And
ults have
Bessa.
been kind of... Like, is he 3, 6, and 7? Yes. But he's hitting his ults, right?
Yeah.
And can you ask for anything more? I mean, honestly, yes. But... you know what?
Yes.
They're fielding a comeback, and I respect that.
Yeah. You know, they didn't even give up in game 1. They didn't give up here in game 2. Props to DRX. They're not winning, but they're not
And you know
giving
what? They're not giving up, and they wouldn't even be out if they lose this game. And notice I'm saying if, because they haven't given up, and neither will I until the Nexus explodes.
We've seen crazier things, even this week. And
Even yesterday?
yeah. That's included in this week. They are going to go in onto Ondil. Not the easiest target to take down, and Lucid does put up his shield as now Smash comes in, and it's just one big bait. Showmaker in a bit of trouble, but he's just so tanky, man. They can't chew through the Cassiopeia, and now Shiu's here trying to interact with Jiwoo. It's not going to happen. And they're just chasing the Cassiopeia for some reason. It's not, guys. Oh no. Jiwoo, no!
The minion.
He did hit the minion, yeah. That's, get down, Mr. President.
He's
Mr.
just dodging,
Showmaker.
dipping.
One spear? No, Lucid's gonna run straight into the smash. And, yeah, it's just gonna be 2 kills anyway. Zombie Scion trying to be relevant, but...
Okay, I
knows
know
the game is over.
I said I wasn't giving up on DRX.
Nexus hasn't exploded.
And I'm still not giving up. There's still hope, right? Willer's back up. He's got ult. He's not been missing those. There's hope. I'm hoping. I'm believing. They're connecting CC, but Lucid still didn't die here. So close. The lack of gold, the lack of damage, a factor. Showmaker again gets low. But Korea doing a great job blocking the damage. Does he die? Yes, but he doesn't care. He's let go of earthly tethers like KDA. It's meaningless to him.
Yeah.
Once you've died, how many times has he died? Like 9 times on Braum?
It's at least 8.
It's just meaningless, right? He will die another 7 times on Braum, and it makes no difference as long as he protects his Cassiopeia in the mid lane. He knows what his job is. Oof.
Lucid just flashing for the
It is.
kill.
It is 8.
It is 8, yeah.
He has more deaths than every single person on his team combined.
Makes sense. Because DRX do have 15 kills. So.
He will die for the cause. Again and again and again.
He will, yeah.
Not even just for the cause, he'll just die.
He'll just die.
And then say it's for the cause, and you're like, you know, you didn't need to die. He's like, no, I did. I'm like, okay, fair play, buddy. I appreciate the effort.
He was feeling like he had to.
Well, it's just hitting the ult.
Same for Siwu. You know, he's like, I feel like I kind of just want to die here in the top lane. And he does. He gets caught out again. So DRX are seeing that our top laner of DK is maybe getting a little bit unfocused. And that's a good look. It's still going to be this bottom lane turret going down.
I mean, Willer's doing good with the ults on Bessa. That is the thing that I'm praising, you know. It's a good look. If he hadn't fallen really far behind in the early skirmish, if they went 10,000 gold down, then yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of ifs.
This time the biggest gold lead does go over to Smash. We had a very big lead for Showmaker in game 1, but this time in game 2, it is the 80 carry.
There's a big gold lead top as well.
Where? Sorry, I didn't recognize what you were talking about.
Reverse bot lane, we'll call it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those guys that kind of like do stuff up there.
Yeah, the strange.
They fight each other and
Yeah, the odd ones. Actually, he was a jungler, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to fight over a Chemtech Drake, it looks like.
Yeah, very important. Very vital that we get this. TP wards being pinged. Kennen is coming.
All right, they're trying to just fight this instead, and Angel
Oh my
dies
God.
to a culling.
Nearly.
Well, basically, yeah. So she was like, I will get that kill for you guys. As Rich as well does not exist. You thought he was tanky. No, he was not. Flash over the wall. Jiwoo does interact with Jiwoo. And Jiwoo
he's
is
so dead.
He's so dead. Yeah, there's just no getting away from that. As a stun will come in right at the last moments. And that'll be the end of him and the end of Willer. And hopefully the end of this game. So we can go on to the next series, because this one has been a bit of a clanker. DK just bopping him over the head with a giant red hammer, and that's going to be it. It's just going to be a 2-0.
This one was a bit more fast and loose than game one. You know, game one felt really just over after the first skirmish.
Get him, Rich. Wait, not like that.
And, you know, game two felt really over after the first skirmish, but with a little bit more goofing about in the meantime.
Yeah. 48 kills. 48 kills here in game number 2, 27 minutes. DK, they are miles ahead of DRX today. And again, DRX just could not help themselves. Lots of early skirmishes that went awry, and D plus Kia, you give them an edge like that, they are so good at punishing. And that they did. If they get ahead, they will make you pay.
Yep, so now D plus going through to playoffs. DRX do have the last chance best of 5. And I think there are some definite lessons to be taken away from this series. I've made a list of them. So, firstly, skirmishes in the bot side river. Need to work on those.
Bans before 15
Secondly,
minutes.
No, that was it.
That's really it.
Yep.
And she was like, we won 3-0. He put up the 3. He's like, yep. Three wins tonight.
What's almost frustrating is I actually think some of the setups later in the game were actually pretty good. You know, Willow was connecting some good ults, so found some good picks, but they were just so in the hole because they just made Showmaker so fed both games. He was 3-0-1 both times after those initial skirmishes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it is what it is. I'm not sure what the O celebration is, because they keep trying. They put up a 3 and then they put a bunch of O's, so I think they're doing 3,000 as a little bit of help from G-Sun to get us there, which makes sense because we did cut to the sign that said, you know, 3,000 days since the debut of Showmaker, and what a way to top off 3,000 days.
what a day for yeah. He was pretty locked in today.
He was playing really well.
Yeah, I mean I think the Ari one was more so he got really fed on the back of a skirmish that DRX misplayed, but I genuinely feel like the Cassiopeia one, his movement was just insane. It just felt like he was dodging everything. Again, like, he played well in the Ari game, but it felt like he was put in a position to pick up the kills. This one though, it was just like, I will dodge everything and I will carry. Like, he's in this 1v2 and he's just like, okay, I'm low, I don't care. Sidestep. When's your next skill shot coming? Sidestep. Pixel perfect. Okay.
That second one was crazy.
Yeah.
The first one was like, all right, that was cool, but the second dodge.
That's the thing, is like, you watch the Ari game and you think, okay, this is really impressive. And then you watch the Cassiopeia game, like, okay, well, you know, that kind of just blows the first one. Even though, like, later in the game, it was not necessarily as much about him, because I think it's harder to be as flashy on the Cassiopeia in a game like this compared to the Ari who was just dominating every fight. But that skirmish was just insane. Yes, I wonder who POM's going to be. Any frontrunners in your mind?
I went ahead and I voted for Career.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought his sacrifice, it shouldn't be in vain, you know?
That was so based.
I think that he really deserves a shout out.
Korea, not a KDA player. That is something we can definitely say.
Whereas some other players on DK,
yeah,
can't say the same about them.
We can also say Andal, not a KDA player. Both supports really just saying that they're willing to die for any cause. Give them a cause, they'll die for it.
What if they don't believe in the cause?
No, they just need
They're still gonna die for it?
Yeah, they just need a cause to die for quickly, because they're gonna die anyway. They just need to say that it was for a good cause. Usually for their teammates, but yeah. Smash, again, doing some crazy damage. You also, I mean, he was pumping numbers on this Ion, but had some great cannon ults. And this was a series that felt short but long. You know, the game's longer than... They were finished very quickly, but also went longer than when they were done.
Yeah, I mean, both games were finished at like 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah,
so
but a lot of action in
after that, yeah. Well, we are going to take a look at the showmaker of the match. It is Showmaker. Who could have seen that coming? Only 3 deaths in the 2 games that he did play.
I wonder what the vote spread's going to be.
You know, you never know with some of our other voters. I'm looking at you, Right Media.
Yeah,
How about
I wonder.
you, TGG?
Oh, well, I did actually know. So I don't know if you heard about this.
For you in this one?
One of the players on D+, it's 3,000 days since they debuted, so maybe we get some like people who vote for that for narrative reasons.
Yeah.
So maybe we see some of those as well.
Yeah, that's why you went for Showmaker, right? Because
oh, was it Showmaker who had that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I voted for that for gameplay reasons.
So put up the Preds there for about 0.3 milliseconds.
Just to rub it in.
I can't believe Atlas went for the 2-1.
Yeah, that was
crazy
weird.
stuff.
That was weird from him. Oh, who's that other person?
Just cover the second one, though. We don't need to see
Oh,
that.
Veldas also did it?
Yeah, that's not my name. I'm Burger. I don't know why I'm not on this one.
Yeah,
Burger, yeah.
I thought your name was
The
Brendan.
famous, I went viral on YouTube for eating a burger. I don't know if you saw that.
I thought you,
That's why I'm named Burger.
Well, you're American, so it makes
It all fits. It all comes together. Guys, we have the Palm interview right now. Let's jump into it.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Seer for the POM interview translation. We have Showmaker on the side of D+ Kia after that 2-0 clean victory. With that victory, you just secured the playoffs. How do you feel? Now advancing to playoffs feels amazing. And for the remainder of all the matches, we will still be on a marathon to finish well. And the latter half of your group battle, you were actually defeated by Genji and T1 back-to-back. So what did you work on afterwards? Well, as for the Genji and T1 matches, I think we had pretty distinct reasons why we lost. And I think that's just something that we tried to focus on. And that actually did show up today. And yeah, that was an 2-0 sweep today. So are you happy with your performance? Yeah, I think we were able to take the lead in the early so quickly, and it actually ended up being such early wins. So I think maybe it just went a little too fast. In game 1, after giving Rumble away, you delayed your topside draft until the 4th and 5th pick, where you went for Ahri and Ornn. So what was the discussion like? I think we just wanted to consider when we give the enemy the first pick, how we would have to counter their comp with. So I think we were just trying to hold the topside picks until then. And game 1, every lane showed dominance, and it was an early wrap, and it was actually a 20k gold lead. So did game 1 feel like a smooth run? I think we had the edge the whole time in game 1, and just being able to have that advantage, we tried to clean up as best as we can. And in game 2, from the start, you took a big win during the scuttle fight. And your follow-up flash was actually quite impressive, so we have to take a look at this replay. Can you walk us through what happened here? So the enemy mid-jungle were flashing in, and I think my positioning was actually really good, and I thought that this would be an easy win. I was able to dodge some skill shots, and I felt pretty good about my form. Yeah, so how were you able to find this angle? I wasn't actually looking at the angle. I think I was just trying to survive, and you know, I just followed my instincts, going back and forth, moving up and down, and I was pretty desperate. I was like, oh, left, right, and then I was able to dodge a bunch of their skill shots. And your form in the laning phase is quite something. So did that grind to rank 1 in solo queue pay off? You know, a lot of people say that solo queue doesn't help, but my head coach told us to work hard and play a lot of solo queue, and I think that actually builds up a lot of confidence. It actually did pay off. And today's second match will be between Nongshim and DN Supers. So, any predictions? Well, between Nongshim and DNS. You know, the players are right behind me, and I'm sure that they will have a great performance. I will cheer you guys on. Looks like you are dodging a solid answer right now. And lastly, any goals for your playoffs? Now that we have advanced to the playoffs, you know, our team has a lot of new members, and I think it's just a good time to build experience, so I want to make the most out of it. And that is the end of the interview with Showmaker, and back to the space. Thank you.